Okay. All right. I think we can go ahead and get started. We got quite a few people who have joined. Let's see. Make sure I got the. Okay. Can everybody see my screen? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, Alicia. Hey. Alicia, do you have the chat somewhere so I can see? So if people got questions or things like that, because I don't know, I don't see it on my end. Okay, guys, can we get started? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, go for it.
Perfect. So my name is Jonathan Castro. We are gonna go today. Thank you guys for making the time today to be in this quick training. What we're gonna be doing today, we are gonna it's mainly focused for those of you guys who work with Facebook Marketplace and any other platform to prospect clients. No. So what we're gonna be doing is a way that we're developing in order to pre-qualify all your prospects, in order to moving from being a prospect to a client and not have to necessarily waste your time with people who are not qualified or that you may not necessarily feel is a good fit to spend X amount of time with, okay? So, hello? I thought somebody said something. All right, so the way we're gonna man this, we have the chat available. We do not have any slides of this. It's gonna be a live training, okay? So there's no slides. If anybody needs a one-on-one on how to do this later, please reach out to me, and I'm putting my email address on the chat and my phone number as well. 1 second. All right, in the chat right now is my email, my direct, my cell phone. So if anybody of you guys need some help one-on-one, please reach out to me and we'll go over those, over how to set this up. So a couple of weeks ago, we did a training on how to basically do a prospecting to a client using Facebook Marketplace and how to really be more effective. So now we're gonna go in depth into how to basically build this form you see on your screen. There was some folks that were at the meeting last time that were able to actually help me make it look a little better. As you can see, before I just had like a regular form. So we'll go over all that. So which one of you guys here, and then you can put it on the chat, is having any kind of issues with pre-qualifying your prospects? Is anybody having any issues with that right now? As far as, you know, make sure you got the right credit, make sure you know the information about their income, exactly what they're looking for. Anybody having any issues with that? You can type it in the chat. Oh, hello, Amy. Yeah. The reason we doing this is because and welcome, Amy. is that basically one of the issues that we have is that when we are talking to people, when we post something in Facebook Marketplace, sometimes it's difficult for us to understand which one of those folks are really prepared to get to move forward with the process. One, sometimes they don't understand the different credit ratings that they need, especially in this type of market, in the rental market. Sometimes they don't understand the type of income they need to have, which is, as you guys know, 2.5 times the rent at minimum. Most landlords right now are even asking for 3 times the rent in order to even consider your offer. So what we did was create a form in which, instead of having to have this dialogue back and forth with your prospects on Facebook, you can just simply create this form. It creates a link and you can drop it on the chat as you're talking to them. I'm new, I don't have an account. Yeah, just name, are you referring to an account on Facebook or an account with Transaction Desk? I'm not sure what you're referring to. So this form basically creates a link. You can either email, text, or put it right there on the Facebook chat, and then it takes into this form where they answer all the questions that you need to know in order to get back to them and provide better service if you're even gonna work with them. As far as having a Facebook, I'll show you. My screen's not showing. I'm sorry. It should be showing my screen. Let's see. Can you guys see my screen now? Sure. I guess I wasn't showing the screen. Okay, perfect. Right, so this form right here that you guys see, we're gonna help you guys basically format it to you. You can customize it however you want to. I kept mine very simple, just my name, lifestyle, because when we send this link out, we wanna make sure that we look professional and not just some random person sending the prospect a link on Facebook, no? Sometimes a lot of agents have hesitations to send this form or to even ask a lot of questions because they feel like we are maybe asking too much of the people on Facebook before we even work with them. My reply to that, guys, is that we are sitting there and there's somebody on Facebook that responding or asking us questions about a post, and their expectation is that we have to get out and go show, because when we post something on Facebook, the first thing they say is like, oh, is it available? Yes, it's available. Can I go see it? But then how do you choose if you can go request a showing and go take time out of your day to go show this property to somebody that you don't know if it's qualified to begin with, right? So this was going to help you with. So if somebody is willing to ask you to take 30 an hour, 2 hours of your time to go show in places, they can take 10 seconds, 15 seconds of the time to complete this form for you, to give you more information for you can help them better. If they do not fill this form, they're not serious enough and they just can move on, okay? So that's kind of my mindset on that. Some people do not send forms, they don't ask a lot of questions. I like to at least pre-qualify them before we start doing any showings. Now, some people also say, oh, well, they may lie on the form and say something, but at the end of the day, you cannot control that, right? But once you show up to the place, to the showing, and you request information and it does not match what they provided to you here, you can just stop working with them and not continue to waste any more time. So this is just a pre-qualification form that we can use and to be more effective. Do we have any questions so far? Hello? Please mute yourself if you're not gonna be asking any questions, but if you have any questions, you feel free to unmute yourself.
Johnny, if you click on participants, it should give you the option to mute everyone.
I got it. Thank you. All right, so everybody's muted. So any questions, please type it in the chat. I will be popping in and out of the chat just to make sure I'm not missing any questions, but I will make sure I address every single question before we leave here today. All right, so this form works out of Gmail, okay? So you need to have a Gmail account in order to do the form that we're gonna work with today. Now, there are other forms, as I was, one of my partners at Miami Lakes, Lucia, showed me that there's different forms you can use She uses something similar to this, and it's not related to Gmail. However, so you can do your Googles and see if you can figure out another way. However, this is just to give you a framework of how you should be working with your prospects. So this is what this is what mine looks like, and then after I'll show you what it looks like, I'll tell you how I use it and how to build it. So like I said, it has my name on top, questions, responses. You can see I already got 18 responses from the time that I created it. I did English and Spanish. That way I don't have to have two different forms. I can just send it in and everybody will understand it. All these questions you see here are the questions that I typically ask. If you have different questions you want to add, edit, delete, not use, you're more than free to do that. This is just the way that I do it. I will also, if you put your email, or actually email me or text me your email to the number that I put in the chat, I can make sure I can send you all this information, because I already have these questions already typed up. So all you have to do is copy paste them into your forms once I teach you how to do them later. Okay. So again, list information, client information, ask for the name in a short answer text. The reason I ask for the name here is because if you will notice that on Facebook, some people have weird names like Chachi34, as they talking to you on the messenger, but that's not the real name. So you want to make sure you grab the real name here. The phone number in order to reach out to them if you decide to want to work with them and somebody you want to talk to right away. Their email address, desired areas here. This is talking about like if they want to be Hialeah, Miami Lakes, Hollywood, whatever. There's another way of doing this part here. You can do it where it's multiple choice as well. So they can choose this. So I'll show you how to do that as well. Let me mute everybody again. Okay. All right. We also want to know the rent budget, how much they want to spend a month. Type of property that they want. Okay, it's an apartment, it's a townhome, single family, duplex. Bedrooms, how many bedrooms, bath they want, 1 through 4 plus. How many people they want, 1, 2, 3 plus. And this is where we get to the good stuff. Your credit score. I grabbed this directly from from Credit Karma. So to show them not just the number, because sometimes you realize that you ask them on Facebook, hey, what's your credit score? Or how's it look like? And they will tell you, oh, it's good. And then whenever you're working with them, you notice that the credit score is 580, okay, or 590. And it's not that they lie to you necessarily, it's that not too many people know exactly how credit works, right? So they could think that a 580 is a good credit score because it's definitely not 300. But for our purposes, I want to make sure that they understand, listen, 580 to 669 for our context is a fair credit score. It's not bad, but it's not good. You want to be from good to very good to exceptional. And that's kind of how I handpick my prospects from this, depending on what they choose. This is not to say that you cannot work with somebody who has a credit score of 300 to 579 or 580 to 669. Of course you can, but the moment that they give you that information based on, you can tell them, listen, to be realistic in this market, you have to understand that if we're gonna go after a property versus somebody that has an exceptional credit score, a very good credit score, we have to come in with something else. Maybe that's an extra deposit or whatever, right? So that's just to help you have that conversation and educate your prospect. Or if they have no credit as well. Total estimated monthly income. Again, going back to you need to be making at least 2.5 times the rent. So this will tell you right away. Can you provide first month, last month security deposit? Yes, no, or are you working with a voucher, right? So a voucher is Section 8 for those who may not know. So the reason I ask this is if you can provide this thing is that's a standard right now, right? But you will notice that a lot of people, when you tell them that, when they ask you about a property on Facebook, they get surprised. Oh, I didn't know, why do I have to pay $9,000 to go in? Why can I just pay 2 months? But for the most part, 9 times out of 10, landlords are asking you for at least 3 months to move in. So that's why this question is there. Do you have any pets? And then you decide moving date. This desired moving date is very important because it can help you guys, start putting it in your pipeline, because I have missed a lot of people that tell me, hey, Johnny, I'm looking for an apartment, but I don't need it for until January or whatever. And automatically in my mind, I know that if it's not within 30 days, 45 days, I don't necessarily work with them, jump to work with them right away. But then what happens is like 2 months down the road, I remember, oh, wow, such and such was very qualified, wanted an apartment. I forgot completely about it because I didn't put it down anywhere. I reached out to them, but they already found something. So this is basically to make sure that you can use that date, the moving date, to place them in the appropriate place, okay? Any questions so far on the questions that we asked here on the chat? Oh, there it is. Lucia put it here. It's jobforms.com. It's another way that you can do it as well. So I'm gonna pause for a second to see if anybody has any questions as far as the questions that I'm asking on the form itself. No questions? Everybody good? All right, looks like everybody's okay. All right, so I will ask that everybody is on the, obviously on the computers, maybe you're on your phone, but you cannot do this on your phone. You have to be doing it from the desktop computer, okay? Laptop. You cannot do it on the mobile device that I know of. If somebody figures it out, please let me know. So with that, I'm gonna go to my Facebook account so you can see how I use it. 1 second, and then we'll start building the form. So let's see. So we'll go to my messages, quite a few messages. Oh Lord, that's not what I wanted to open. All right. Okay, I'm not this. Okay, Messenger, here we go. All right. All right, so this, for example, right here, I posted, can anybody see this message right here? Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay, so my friend Dennis here, right? He asked for a property that I have listed, 3,200. And this is typically what you guys 100% of the time will see, this interaction, okay? Hi, Johnny, is it still available? You say, yes, it's available. And then he said, well, do they accept dogs? And I said, no, sorry, no pets. And he said, okay. So at this is what you use it as a follow-up to not just, this person obviously interested in an apartment or a place. So you don't want to necessarily lose them right there. You want to ask some follow-up questions, see if you can help them out. When are you looking to move in? Maybe I can send you some options if you wish, that accept pets. He's like, oh, around the 20th or November 1st, thanks. And I say, okay, I will send you through here a quick form that will help me filter the options for you and be more effective. Please complete it and let me know once you do. I send in the form and he said, okay. All right. So now hopefully he goes in and clicks on the link and it is going to take him to the form. The form that's going to take you guys, I'm going to click on it so you can see it. It's straight to this right here. This is how they're going to see it, your client. So they're going to start typing their information, their name, phone number, and everything has an asterisk, a red asterisk. That means that they cannot submit the form unless they complete that area. Okay. So here it's going to complete all this. I'm going to show you what a completed form looks like. So let's go to response here. Okay. And here, let's go to the last one I received. Okay, so the last one I received was from this person, Hismar Mayor, that's name, okay? I got his phone number, I got his email address, okay? I got the areas that they want, Kendall, Westchester, Homestead, Pembroke Pines. I got his budget, $1,600 to $1,800. I know the type of property. He wants a townhome, single family, or a duplex. He wants a 2-1 or a 2-2. So right here's when you start determining if it's feasible, right? Say 2-1, 2-2, one of these, and he wants it no more than 1,800. So we're good to go. I think that's doable. It's for 3 people. His score is 580 to 669, so it's fair. But he has a little income. He's at $10,000 a month in income. So at least in this sense, I know that he can definitely cover the 3 months to move in. And at the same time, I can talk to him, listen, your credit score is not where it needs to be very competitive, but are you in a position to pay an extra deposit? So when we submit it, so it just gives you some more things to talk to. Then you see here, can you provide the first month? He said yes. He does have a dog. It's over 10 pounds. And he wants to move in October 4th. This is a person that I've been talking to already. And actually, we're working with him right now to get him a place. He wanted to move in October 4th, but we couldn't find something that he wanted. But we're still looking, okay? So this is what the form helps you kind of really identify people that you want to work with. So obviously there's a person that I call, talking to, and working with. Let's look at somebody else. Miguel Flores, I got the number, I got the email, desired moving days as well. $3,000 on the rent, townhome duplex. He wants a 3-2 for 2 people, but he has exceptional credit. Makes about 12,000 bucks a month, no pets, and wants to move in November 1st. Okay, so again, this is very good information that instead of you having to go back and forth with somebody on the messenger, you just submit this right away and boom, you have all the information. I've gotten people here that have a credit score of 300 or don't make, it's just unrealistic. So I'll still give them a call, okay, because you don't want to necessarily like just not call or not engage with somebody because of their financials or credit. You want to make sure you put them in the right path. Another thing this is very good, guys, for is that let's say like this guy right here. This is a person that makes has a good income. Where it says my income here, I lost it. Okay, 12,000 bucks a month, and has exceptional credit, right? It says it's 800 to 850. This is one person that you can talk to and say, hey, what have you tried buying a place? Are you pre-qualified to buy a place? Because with your credentials or your financials, so you should be able to get an FHA loan or a loan or get pre-approved. That happened to me with a client. That same thing, I noticed the information was very good to get pre-approved. However, he told me, hey, listen, I really want to do it down the road. I just don't have enough money right now for down payments, the X and that, but now I have him on my pipeline that I talk to him almost every couple of weeks just to see where he's at. But I did get him a rental, of course, but then I'm focusing on maybe, after the year's up, I got him in my prospect pipeline to make sure that I talk to him often. So when he's ready to buy, guess who's going to be buying with? Because I already got him with Maddie at Miami Lakes. She already talked to him and got him, he's making sure he gets pre-approved and all that stuff. And by the time he's ready to buy, he's going to come to me. Okay. So this is what this is very good for, guys. Okay. So that is on your Facebook, but made on job forms. No, this is not on my Facebook, Amy. I made this on Gmail. Job forms is just a different one that you can use. It's just like I said at the beginning, I'm 100% sure that there's many other ways of doing this kind of forms. That's why I offered up the job forms that my partner Lucia works with. I work with this one from Gmail that I'm going to show you, but I'm sure there's other ones. Okay. I cannot necessarily send you the form because the form is my form. I send you the link. It's going to take you to mine. I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay. It's Google Docs. Correct. It's Google Forms. We're going to go see it in a second. So if anybody needs a one-on-one on building it, that's why I put my information on the top, and I'll take the time to make sure I help you guys out with this. All right. So any questions on what the form, how they get it? Any questions on that before we move on? Okay, so we're gonna go straight now into how to build the form. Okay, so like I said earlier, you want to have a not a Facebook, but a Gmail account, as you can see here. Let me go a Gmail account here. Let me turn this. Oh, 1 second, guys. Let me go dark here. All right, sorry, I was in the dark there. All right, so you want to be here. If you see this 9 dots here next to your picture, okay. Sorry, let me ask you some questions. Thanks so much. So it has to be created there, then uploaded to Facebook. You do not upload it to Facebook. You're gonna create the form, okay, on Gmail. and it's gonna stay there because that's where it gets fed into when they answer the questions. However, you do get a link. You can create a link and you can send the link directly to the client or the prospect via the messenger, via text, via email, however you want to. So we'll show you how to do that real quick. All right. So the link is actually, I prefer the link because, you know, it's much faster. You can send it through any platform, right? So you see these 9 dots here next to your picture on Gmail. That's what you want to click, Google Apps. Okay, we're gonna go to Google Apps, and I'm trying to man the questions. Okay, so when we go to Google Apps here, we'll scroll down all the way down to Forms, as you can see down here. Okay, so go all the way down, and then you can put it on Linktree as well. Thank you for pointing that out. Yes, that's correct. Thank you so much. So again, we go down here, Google Apps, scroll all the way down to Google Forms. So when we click on Google Forms, it's gonna come here, okay? So when here, you're gonna have blank, contact information, course evaluation. The one that I used was this one that says contact information to create this one, because it's the one you can edit and turn it into real closely to this, okay? So this is the same thing. So you click on this, contact information, and it's gonna look like this. All right, so this is where we are. So all this can be changed. All of this, if you can add images, you can go ahead and switch up the, you know, add questions, import questions, add title and description, or add section, all of this stuff here, right? So let's go ahead and add, the first thing I'm gonna add is the image. So you can add an image from your camera anywhere you want to. You can browse it, and then this is how I added the here my what you call it, my logo for this. Okay, you can have that here, and then you can just leave it right there. Let's see, do this. The chat is I'm sorry, the chat. So it's also okay. Okay, so once we're here, like I said, if you want the questions, send me the email or send me a text message, and I will make sure, if you give me your email, I will send you all of these questions already, because I already typed them up, so you don't have to necessarily have to come up with them yourself. Okay, so here you type, you know, list information or whatever you want to type it, you know. I really highly suggest do it in English and Spanish. That way, you know, you don't have to create two, okay? Información de rentas. Información de rentas. Okay, this is how you do this, okay? You come down here and you can move these things up and down, okay? As you wish. Like if you want to move this here, you can move it here, anywhere you want to, okay? Do it as you wish. You can move all this. The chat. Does Credit Karma affect the credit? I don't know what we're talking about. Credit Karma. Does Credit Karma affect the credit? No. Credit Karma is free and it does not affect anything. It's a self-pool. It's not a pool. Okay. All right. So let's go back. All right. So here you want to type the way that you want to do the questions. Okay. Let me bring this back where it needs to be at. Here. Okay. The way that you want to do this, on the right here, you see short answer, paragraph, short answer, multiple choice, check boxes, drop box. You know, this is the ones that you want to use here. So you can have the option here. So for the name, right? If you want to know the name / nombre, right? In Spanish, this is just to give you an idea. Again, I'm going to send you all these questions. You don't have to type them up, or you have to just copy paste them. So you want to have a short answer for that. If you want for and then the way that you're making require, you press here, require, and then that way they cannot, when they submit, they cannot get past it if they don't put this information. Obviously, you want the email. You don't want the address here. I just switch the address to areas, desired areas, right? Again, you can switch everything you want. These are areas. And then here you can put, you know, paragraph, short answer. I like short answer better. And then here you make sure it's required, right? Phone number, maybe your phone number, you wanted to have it right next to their email. So you just scroll that up, just like that, and make sure it's required. That one. Somebody got a question? Okay, no, okay, no questions. Perfect. All right, so here we go. So that's why you put the side areas. So to add more, because obviously there's only like maybe like 3 fields here, you click on here, add question, and boom, it's gonna add it right here. So it's gonna come to multiple choice, but again, you can click on that and change it to whatever you want. So in this, for example, in this case, if you want, credit score, you put credit score there. And in this case, I would definitely put as a drop down, right? So they can get to pick whichever it is. So put drop down, and option 1 is like 800, for example. Option 2 is 600. Option 3 is 500, right? And then no credit, whatever you want to do here. And then you put as a drop down. So meaning that whenever they get to this question, make sure it's required. When they get to this question, they're gonna have to click on the first thing, and it's gonna drop down to the different options so they can choose one. Okay, you can also put it as check boxes, but if you put a drop down, they can only choose one, which is the way I prefer it. Okay, make sure the chat. Okay, all right. So here we go. So you continue going down this way, and to put the date, like the moving date, let's do this. So put desired moving date, desired moving date, right? You put it required. You want to put here instead of paragraph, you want to go to date, right? So you put date, and then it's automatically gonna put this here. So whenever, that's when they get to now pick what day they want to move in. All right, so that's how you add questions. Again, it's right here to the right. You add the question and you put it there. So it's super easy to use. It's really not, I figured it out as I was going along. You can have your own questions to it. You can take off some of the ones that I'm gonna send you if you don't like them. I'm gonna send you some, whatever. The rule of thumb here, guys, is that you need to be asking the questions in this form that you find yourself asking a lot to your prospects on Facebook or whatever other platform you're using. Okay, so just use mine as a guide, but make sure you turn it into your own. Okay, so now once you complete this, you have it all saves automatically. As you can see there, all changes saved in the drive. Any changes you make to this automatically saves, so you don't have to click on anything. Like you go X out right now, it's gonna be saved, no problem. You can always come back to it, add, edit, delete, whatever you need to do at any time. The way that we share this now with the clients, 1 second, there's a question on the chat. Oh no, that was just an email. Okay, but thank you. Okay, the way that we want to do this, to once you have it complete, okay, make sure everything looks professional, looks nice. No, let's see here. Okay, you press here where it says send, okay, and then this is gonna come up. You want to make sure you're collecting emails. All right, or actually don't do this, the collect emails, because what happens here when you collect emails, the person can only send you the form one time. So if they need to fill anything out or do a correction, they will not be able to. This is mostly used if you're doing like a raffle or like a type of deal where you just want people to enter one time. So never check collect emails, because remember, you're already going to have the email because you're already asking it here. So you're already going to have the email address, so you don't need to collect it again. All right. So when you see here send form, you're going to have 3 options: via email, or this little chain. This is the one I prefer. The chain, that's the link. I shorten the URL, and then and then just copy it. But it's copied right there, right? Once you copy it, I'm gonna go ahead and actually, matter of fact, put it on our chat that we have here. Once you copy it, you go to anywhere you want to and press paste, as you can see here, right? You click on it, and then if any of you guys clicks on this link that is on the chat right now, it should take you to this form that we have as a test here, okay? So that's how it works. So now what happens is that as your people start completing the form, where you sent it? Oh, I put it on the, I'm sorry, I sent it to just one person. I'm sorry, let me put it to everybody in the meeting. My apologies. Okay, I put it again to everyone. I sent it to somebody named Juju. Sorry, that's a direct message. All right, so I put it right now on for everybody to see. So if anybody clicks on that, it should take you to this, to where you need to fill it out, right? The name, the email, and so forth. And as you get it, okay, as you start getting it, you will be, you go here to responses, and they will all be lined up here in this area, okay? Says right now it's waiting for responses because nobody has done it, and it's instant, okay? The second that somebody fills it out, the second it gets here. And this is what becomes this right here, that you have the, let me go back to it, I have 18, okay? So we were just here building the questions. We moved to responses right here, okay? So what you see here, okay, what you see here is that you get a summary. So you don't ever really care for the summary because it's just gonna like basically put them all together for you. You don't really care about this part. The part of the question you don't really care about the neither right now. You want to go to where it says individual, because that's going to be the breakdown of each person that completed the form. If you want to move to, let's say you have 18 like I do, you can move to each one through here, as you see, up and down, or you can move using the little arrow, okay? Whatever you choose, you can do. As you can see, some people didn't answer everything here because as I was building this, let's say you edit the questions and you add another question. Obviously, it's gonna show in the people who originally did it. It's just not gonna show that they completed it because obviously they didn't have that question available to them. Okay, so let me see a couple of questions on the chat. It saves to yourself. Yeah, it goes. No, it doesn't save. It goes straight to the Google account. As you build it, as you create it, it gets saved automatically there. Okay, so you will never have to worry about that part. Okay, any questions? Any questions in the chat, please?
No, super easy. Awesome.
It's so, and that's actually, guys, the really the objective here. We want to make sure this is easy, concise, effective. We don't want to overcomplicate what we do, because at the end of the day, no, I'm sorry, Juju, this is I was a mistake. I didn't mean to send it to you. I meant to put the link in there for everybody. Right. So that's how this works, guys. You just complete this. I'm more than happy to do one-on-ones with you guys. Whoever wishes, you got my phone number and everything there. Let me show you one more form that I use to keep track of everybody that I work with. That this way, one second, let me get it here. And
Johnny, is it possible for us to create something like this, but to qualify people to buy?
Yes, correct. I would definitely say let's get with somebody that the process is to ask the right question. So you can have different forms. Because if you look at here, I have when I started doing this, I have one that's called "Do I Qualify?" here, right? So this right here, "Do I Qualify?" is something that we can use. It's the same contact information form template. So you can do this and then maybe send this to people that want to know if they qualify for a home. Just make sure we ask the right questions, right? What's your credit score? What's your, do you have any debt? Things like that, like anything that you need to ask. I will get with a mortgage broker, Maddie at the office, somebody that can give us a list of the right questions to ask in order to get it, obviously like a preliminary idea if somebody qualifies. Obviously, they have to go through the process to know exactly where they stand, but this at least will give us an idea of what they need to work on, right? So that's an excellent question. Yes, you can use it for that if you wish. Yeah, I would. That's my goal to eventually to start working it for buyers as well. But I know that we get a lot of movement with what you call it with Facebook and potentials there, that it takes our time. It takes a lot of time to ask questions, go back and forth. So this really helps out.
Awesome. Thank you, Johnny.
You got it. The form that I need to show you guys is this pipeline. that we are using, that I'm using, here it is. Let me know if you guys can see this Excel sheet.
Jonathan, your information.
I'm sorry?
Do you mind putting your information again? Because I don't see it in the chat.
Oh, I put it right away. I put it right away. I will. You guys see my screen now? With the Excel sheet?
Do I qualify?
No, let me, I'm sorry, I need to probably share differently. Let me share a new screen. Okay, I got it. All right, let me know if you see it.
Got it.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you guys remember earlier, you know, one of my struggles at first when I started really working heavy with leases was that, this is something, oh wait, I opened up the wrong one. I'm sorry, I opened up the wrong one. It's not the right one. Please bear with me because now I opened the wrong thing here. I need to make sure I'm in the right place. Here we go. Oh, that's the, oh, anyway. So this right here, what you see here is a pipeline, basically that, as we were talking earlier about the folks that do, like, they want to know, they want to move in 2 months down the road, 3 months down the road. I have a form I can share with you that basically takes them, you know, from least prospects, from being a prospect to being active client to a client to being on hold for whatever reason, right? This also, as you put the number or the budget here that they want, and start adding that up, and it start giving you the potential here of your commissions that you will make on that. But you know, obviously you have to take off your percentage of either 10% or 20% off to the company. But as you put more information here, it starts adding it up, 6,000 here. So now you know that you are about 3,000 commission minus the whatever the percent, right? So you start putting here as a follow-up. There's many different ways to follow up with clients. I know there's some platforms that do it, but I started doing this because I didn't know where I was with certain clients, and I would get frustrated because I was like, oh, I'm not closing much. And then when you write it down, everybody that you're working with, you realize that you have a lot of people that you're working with. You have to put them in the right place. So for example, like if I just have a prospect that I'm talking to on Facebook, they go here on this area, right? The moment that I start showing them and we start showing sending offers, we move in here to active clients and hopefully to close clients. So basically the goal here is to move them from here to active to close. And at all times you need to have you should have a goal of what you want to have. My goal is to have 5 people in each of these areas at all times. Okay. And that way that keeps me hitting my goals that I want to hit per month, and it keeps me on track. So I can also send this to you guys if you guys wish to have it. Okay. So it's already built in, everything's already done. You don't have to add any formulas or nothing. It's already ready for you guys. 1 second. Okay, sorry. 1 second. All right. Okay. So let me go back. So I'll make sure that I send this to you guys so you guys can have it as well. But that's how everything kind of works together. Okay. You want to have the form. You want to have a follow-up. And then that way you can stay way organized. Is there any question right now? Let me put my contact info again here. Sorry, guys. I'll put it here. My phone number.
Donnie, you mentioned that you weren't using this one right now on the screen. Did your strategy change, or do you want to go back to using this one? Was it effective when you did use this one to qualify buyers?
I merged them. I merged them actually. What I did was I took some stuff from the qualify to the list information. The reason I did that was because one, I didn't want to have 2 forms, like working with. I wanted to see if I can have just one. And 2, I realized that especially in this market that we're on, just because you send an offer to a place, you're not gonna necessarily get it right away. But if the person asks you about a specific property on Facebook or whatever, but if you use the other form, the one that we originally discussed, about the lease information, you can get the information of what they actually want. So you can actually start looking for other things just in case you don't get the one that you originally wanted to get. So that's what I did with that. So I used, let me go back to it. I used this one, the lease information, because this also tells me if they qualify right off the bat. Because here I'm asking about your credit, I'm asking about your income, I'm asking about those little things that give me an idea to qualify you. But at the same time, I'm asking you what type of apartment you want, what type of unit, you know, how many people, all that stuff. So I'm also getting more information on what you could potentially want if we don't get the first one that you wanted, right?
And when you say qualify, you mean qualify to buy, right?
No, this is all for rentals. Remember, like this is still, we're not doing the purchase one. This is again, you can apply for both. The forms you can really honestly apply for both, but this is mainly for somebody that wanted to do a lease.
So I guess that's what I was asking earlier, because I noticed that you said that you don't use the qualification form, this doc form for buyers. So that's what I was asking, like, is your strategy, like when you qualify a buyer, do you ever send them this doc form? Because I was planning to create one for buyers, but if that's a strategy that doesn't really work, since buying is a more critical process, you know, is that something that you recommend?
Yes, because I actually when it comes to the buyers, what I want to do is I want to work with Maddie at my office in Miami Lakes, where she's gonna we're gonna come up with the right things to ask, with what we need to know, because at the end of the day, to pre-qualify, to, you know, the buyers, they do have to go to the lenders or mortgage brokers, right? So, but for us, when we are talking to people, our friends, family, you know, in our circle, to see if we can get him a pre-qualification, if you will, then that's what we can use that form to see where they need to be at, you know, kind of like to put them in the right path. And then at the same time, educating on this and the other, and then, but to get to have them ready to go talk to a lender whenever the time is ready, you know. But to your point, depending on the things that they answer, they could be ready to where you can now put them in contact with your lender to get them pre-approved.
Awesome. Thank you, Johnny.
You got it, but that's definitely coming up. That's definitely coming up. What I didn't say merge. Well, I did say merge, but what I did was I combined some of the questions from the first form, the qualified, to one. So that's what that meant by that.
That's exactly what I was planning to do. Just add a few of the other questions that any lender would ask to pre-qualify, and that way I already know whether they're a potential buyer or not.
No, that would be perfect. Yeah. And then because you already have so many here, you know, with the credit, with the income. So all we need to do is just get a couple of more questions that just to kind of get us there. My only hesitation is that we don't want to make the form too long if we're using this on Facebook and things like that, because attention span is short, right? We want to get them quick in and out, be effective. However, if we can get away with one or two questions that can help us on both sides, that'll be a great thing to do. Very good thing to do.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. But let's work with that, and maybe we can figure something out.
Okay.
All right. I put my phone number there again. It's a 305-965-9704. That number is available to you guys almost 24/7. No, not Sundays after 12, please, but every much any other time. This meeting was also recorded, so hopefully we can put it back in the Lear cloud if anybody missed anything. However, the biggest the two takeaways I need from you guys is that I will send you guys, whoever wants the information, I will send you the questions both in English and Spanish already, so you can use them. You got my information for the one-on-ones if you guys need to kind of build this form. The goal today was to show you guys how to do it and show you guys that it's very easy to do. However, I understand that sometimes, you know, we may need a little push, so I can help you guys with a little push to get you over the hump if you get stuck building this thing. Okay.
Thank you, Johnny.
You got it. So I'm staying here for 2 more minutes. If anybody has absolutely any questions or now, then, you know, we can go ahead and let me put my email here as well. again. So make sure everybody grabs it. Make sure you guys send me a note via text message or email. That way I can just kind of grab it easier to send you the information. I don't want to have to type too many stuff from this chat here because it's a long chat. So I just, all right. So I just sent in my email and you guys also have my phone number. So make sure you either text me or send me an email and I'll make with whatever you need and I'll make sure to send it over to you ASAP.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, Johnny, I'm not on the computer right now. This is Alma, and I tried to do it and it wouldn't work for me. And I'm gonna watch this and then I will hopefully come up with the form because
Yeah, just remember you cannot do it if you're not on the computer. You have to do it on the computer, but you go again, you know, you go to the top when you get to your email, Gmail, on the top right with the little dots, click on that, scroll all the way down to forms and use the one that says contact information. And then that's the one that it should be pretty self-explanatory, but I will make sure I send you the questions as well. If you get stuck, call me anytime and I'll make sure we'll get you to the finish line there. And if you guys start using this form,
wonderful, thank you, because probably I'm going to.
No, it'll be my pleasure. And for those of you who start doing it, start working, if you start noticing some success, please let me know because it helps me, you know, if you know a better way of doing it. Also let me know, for example, like the way mine looks right now was an agent that came to one of the trainings and told me, hey, you know, we can make this look a little prettier, you know, more pleasing to the eye, if you will. You know, I'm more like, let's just get it done, but you know, she helped me out greatly with it. So we're always learning from everywhere. So if you guys figure out a better way, more effective way, if this one works for you guys, please let me know, and then we can make sure that other folks, you know, that also coming in get some learn something too. All right, guys. Well, with that having said, thank you so much for your time, and then I'll be seeing you guys soon around the offices. Bye bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
Bye.
you.
You're welcome.